Hi, Buccaneers. Good day. I hope you are well. I'm very well, even it's not so well. I'm battling a little bit with flu, but I hope everybody is well. We're enjoying the preseasons as we've seen the team in Spain. They lost against Bolton. The second game they played 1-1 against I think it was Pafos. Yeah, against Pafos, where Leverkusen scored the only goal of Orlando Pirates in Spain so far. And then we saw them last night playing to a goalless draw against Las Palmas. But then if we look at Orlando Pirates, what they have just before the team moved to Spain for the preseason, Orlando Pirates, they have invited Zambian striker Enoch Sakala Jr. to train with the team, and he has been training with the team. And then that it is a sign that the club there will be signing a striker ahead of next season, especially with the future of Sakala still uncertain at this stage. And then with Bitumelo Radiopane, the young striker with a lot of potential, but we don't know how the team they will be able to deal with that in the striking department. But for the fact that they brought Sakala to the team, and he has been closely monitored by those who are left behind with the players that are at Orlando Pirates, like Mariko, who arrived a little bit late. As those guys, they were already moving to Spain. So Sakala is a Zambian striker who joined. He went to have a stint in Egypt. Things didn't go well. He joined Chippa United, and then midway through last season, and then he found himself with Orlando Pirates. And then Orlando Pirates, they will have to make a decision on Sakala as to whether he is the player that they are looking for. Because now, with only Sokofatso Mabasa as a proven prolific goal scorer at Orlando Pirates, it becomes a problem when he's not getting goals as he's expected. Because last season, the absence of Monapule Salen really hurt him in terms of getting enough goals like he did on the previous one where he won the Golden Boot. And it was very important to mention that when Mabasa won the Golden Boot, he played the first 6 months at Morocco Solos under coach Steve Compella, and then in the second season, Olympic they recalled him from on loan, and then he came to join Orlando Pirates, and he scored 10 goals. I think he had already scored 6 at Swallows. Then he scored 10 goals at the Orlando Pirates with the help of players like Mona Pule Saling. So the absence of Saling contributed towards Mabasa not really getting enough goals, So Orlando Pirates, they are looking at Sakala, and whether or not they will sign him, it remains to be seen now, because they will be the coach will be given report and his technical team upon their arrival from Spain. Even now, I think communication are going with regards to what they have seen so far in Sakala at Orlando Pirates. But then apart from Sakala, there are other options that Orlando Pirates can still consider. Zenan Zasmovic, formerly with TS Galaxy, is a player who has left the club, and then he left TS Galaxy with the chairman of the club, Tim Sugazi, saying that the player was due to the issue of a permit that he wanted to have in South Africa in order to bring his family to be with him. But as a result, he could not, and then he decided to leave the club. But then recently, Amazulu has been strongly linked with that striker, the Belgian-born striker. They've been linked with the big number 9, and then we are not sure as to whether they will end up signing him, but I can tell you for free that he's one of the players who's a free agent as we speak. And Orlando Pirates, they can look at him, because he's a tall striker. He's a typical European, Eastern African center forward. He's tall, and he brings that physical presence in the box, because we know that Orlando Pirates have got strikers, but none of them is a good header of the ball who can impose himself, even getting to the end of the crosses. Should Orlando Pirates opt to go away and bring in those crosses, they need somebody who's the towering frame who can be able to get to the end of things or play those flick-ons or knockdowns on rushing players like Sipho Mbule, who are coming from midfield, Tito Maswanganye, or Sinotolo Kwaiba, who likes to play in and around the big striker. So he's another option, the striker formerly with TS Galaxy. I think he scored 9 to 10 goals last season for TS Galaxy, and he's a good striker. He was linking up with Matlangu up top with Sebelebele as well at TS Galaxy, not forgetting Keegan Dolly, who was really playing well with him. They developed a combination with him, and he was allowing them, by dropping deep, allowing them to get in behind as well. So he's one of the options that Orlando Pirates, they can consider, because he will be coming for free. But when it comes to foreign players, the only thing that I'm not sure about that is the foreign quota, because Mariko came and then Kim Vidi is still there. I was hoping that maybe Kim Vidi will leave for Orlando Pirates to sign, but it seems like the foreign quota still allows them. But for the fact that they invited for Sakala, Junior Sakala to the team, it means that they still have the possibility of adding a foreign player. But then the Zasmovic is another striker that whose presence can also help Orlando Pirates to defend set pieces, because as we've seen even against Bolton, Orlando Pirates, they're still battling defending set pieces, and it doesn't look like the current Orlando Pirates defenders, they will really get to that point where they are able to defend with height and distance, be a little bit more aggressive in defending the corners or the set pieces. So having a player as tall as Zasmovic, as we've seen with Evidence Makgopa, who has been very strong in helping the team defensively, it could be another option that allows Orlando Pirates to have to add him to the team, because he's a goal scorer. Also, it was his first season in South African football, but he adapted very well, because one thing that you don't want is to get a striker who's coming right outside. You don't know how much time it will take him to adapt or to acclimatize to the football that is played in the country. So Zasmovic is one of the players that is an option for Orlando Pirates, that he can be signed on free, because Orlando Pirates, they won't have to pay anything. I think they paid a lot of money already with the number of signings that they have brought in. So on Zasmovic, they are just going to sign him on free. And then another high-grade striker that Dr. Ivan Khoza can surprise us with is Kanyisa Mayo. Kanyisa Mayo is currently playing for CR Belouizdad in Algeria, and he played against Orlando Pirates during the CAF Champions League group stages, and he even scored against Orlando Pirates, if you remember that game that was played in Algeria. So he's another striker who Orlando Pirates can look at, even though he won't come cheap. But Orlando Pirates, as they are aiming to win the league, they are aiming to go further in the CAF Champions League, even winning the Champions League. Winning the Champions League means that Orlando Pirates, they qualify for the World Cup in 2029. So because already it is Pyramids have qualified by virtue of winning the last CAF Champions League last season. So now the teams that will be winning Champions League in the coming years, they will automatically qualify for they will qualify for the next Club World Cup. So, and it's a lot of money. By virtue of qualifying, you've got a lot of money. And then I don't think Orlando Pirates, they will be I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't think Orlando Pirates, they will consider much of how they will pay for Kanyisa, because I think Kanyisa it will cost around 10 to 15 million, because I don't think even from Cape Town City Bureaus that they paid a lot of money, like as sometimes it's reported, So Kanyisa Mayo is a mobile striker, a very, very good striker who's mobile. He can play as number 11, he can play as a left wing, right wing, number 10, even as a number 9. And then when you look at modern football, even as we were watching we saw the Club World Cup final. Chelsea, they were playing PSG. None of those teams, they play with a traditional center forward, and you've got Joao Pedro. He was the one who was leading the line for Chelsea, helped by Enzo Fernandez from behind. They've got Cole Palmer on the sides, and as well as Pedro Neto. For PSG, it was Ousmane Dembele with Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, as well as Desiree Doué on the side. So Kanyisa Mayo is one of those players who's more mobile. He can play on the wing. If you want to play on the 4-3-3, he can play on the other side. And then if you want to play him in number 10, he can play in number 10. And his ability to be mobile allows Orlando Pirates wingers like Mofokeng and also Oswinopolis, who likes to cut inside, allows them to get into those spaces, because then he'll be able to move away, dragging defenders away, and allow other runners to get in behind, of which it will be a massive plus for Orlando Pirates, because they need a high profile striker, even if it's not in the mode of Peter Shalulile or rather Mayele from Pyramids, but they needed somebody who can help, because winning the league, it takes a lot of efforts. If Orlando Pirates have got Kanyisa Mayo, he can contribute 10 to 12 goals, of which that would be massive, because Monapule Saleng, if he was at the club, those are the numbers that you expect from Monapule Saleng, 15 to 20 goals in terms of goal contribution, including assists. Those are the things that you can expect. But then Kanyisa Mayo is one striker that Orlando Pirates could consider as well, because we have seen how Chairman Ivan Khoza has been able to negotiate, being able to get whatever that he wants, and many people were shocked with Mbule, especially, and also in the police. So those are the options that Orlando Pirates they have, if they are to challenge strongly for the league, to have enough depth in that front line, because as it stands, we are not sure, and not everybody who is in Spain will remain with the team. The technical team will bring the report to the management. Maybe Radio Opani could be loaned out, and even Sakala Lepasa could be loaned out as well if he still has his existing contract with the club. So a lot of things can still happen, but those are the options for Orlando Pirates in that striking department going into the new season, as they want to topple Mamelodi Sundowns and do better in the CAF Champions League. Thank you for watching, Buccaneers. I hope to see you in the next video. Drop your comment. Let me get your views on the search for the striker for Orlando Pirates as we are going into the season in just a few weeks' time. Thank you for watching. See you on the next video.